Namaste, World Raiser. So today I want to talk about Hinduism and how it's actually not that complicated. It's actually pretty easy. So this will be especially for my Western viewers who don't really comprehend and understand it, because it seems very, very complex. So many gods, so many deities, so many paths, so many traditions within it. And and that's part of why it's so simple, is because they allow all paths and all faiths, because the core truth of it is that it's stemming from direct perception, realization of absolute truth. So it's pure mysticism. That's where the teachings and the foundations come from. It's all about ultimate reality, and then how that flows into the manifested world. So we're talking about an infinite field of consciousness, right? So remember, Hinduism isn't a religion. It's not just a strict set of rules and beliefs. It's about, seeking the truth within to realize the ultimate truth eventually. That leads to moksha and liberation from, this matrix, this dream, this illusion, Maya, the divine play. So keep that in mind. So Hinduism, not a religion. It's better known as Sanatan Dharma, right? Which means eternal way, the eternal truth. So eternal means forever and forever, timeless, right? So the infinite field of consciousness, it manifests as various forms, right? And these can be, conceptual or not. So it depends whether everybody has the choice to believe in these emanations as being truly real and existent, out there objectively, or if it's, subjective. If it's our belief that makes them so. Because ultimately everything is in the mind. The mind is all powerful. Everything is this infinite field of consciousness. So of course, different minds, different universes, and everything is possible within this. And if you truly grasp that, then you'll understand how easy and simple Hinduism is. So there's different concepts, manifestations of the divine. You got Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, and then the various deities that stem from those. But ultimately, the one formless substrate of all of existence is Brahman, right? So that's the ultimate, non-dual, infinite field of consciousness that everything is manifesting and arising from. So, and then there's various deities to give people, the opportunity to connect. So there's many Shaivites and Vaishnavites, so those who worship Shiva and those who worship Vishnu as the ultimate. It's very, very, very cool. And then of course, so Vishnu will have avatars that come down and restore righteousness to the world. And of course with Sri Krishna, he taught the Bhagavad Gita, which is the song of God. So it's basically, what would God be teaching mortal human beings if he descended to earth? And then he did so right on a battlefield. Huge battle in the Mahabharata, which is one of the main Hindu epics. And then, he laid it out. What are we doing here? What is this all about? It's absolutely profound, so I highly recommend the Bhagavad Gita if anybody's on their spiritual journey. It's just, it's a requirement, right? So we got to remember that spirit, when we're talking about the spirit, we're talking about consciousness. We're talking about awareness. So there's the levels of consciousness, and the whole goal of spirituality and Sanatan Dharma, Hinduism, is to transcend these levels of consciousness. So from the base lower levels, shame, guilt, apathy, fear, anger, hate, pride, very destructive, lust, desire. So to really understand those and how they're prevalent in society right now, it's just about 75 to 80% of the world's population is below the critical level of integrity. So integrity means that you start, caring about others and doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? And then from there you get into courage, willingness, right? Even neutrality, so being neutral, letting people be how they are, non-judgmental, and then acceptance. Accepting everything for how it is right now is incredibly powerful, and that needs to be incorporated and have an intention for that, because we're always so full of perceptions and judgments. So to hold on to acceptance, yeah, the world is how it is right now, and it's perfect, right? Yeah, we could debate and argue that the world is in chaos and it's horrible and it's very negative right now. Well, it's the perfect representation of our own level of consciousness. So it's humanity, that's responsible for that. So we got to let go of the blame game. And yeah, there might be some people, more so in the higher echelons of society that have more power and control over the order of the world and kind of keeping things how they are with their negativity and their control. But ultimately, it's the people that bring about the change. So by raising your level of consciousness into the higher levels, and then getting into reason and understanding reality, and then you can step into unconditional love, conditional and unconditional, still incredibly powerful. And then ultimately beyond love, you're tapping into the very, very high levels of full enlightenment, full-on mysticism, transcending the dualistic ego, and then getting a direct glimpse and perception of absolute truth. So it's important to begin with conceptual, right? You can have a conceptual understanding and realization of the absolute truth, that we're all one, that there's one infinite field of consciousness, and it's the source of all life and all of existence, and we're all manifestations of that. So to really grasp that, and that's what these, the Dharmic religions are teaching. Buddhism, that's exactly what he taught. The mystics within Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, and it's all one. Sanatana Dharma encompasses all faiths and all teachings. Yeah, Jainism as well, right? So transcending the lower levels, getting into the higher levels, and then undoing the negativities within, right? So letting go of, maybe there's some childhood trauma, some inner negative shadows. The shadow work needs to be done, and to really let go of the lack, the uncertainty, the fear, and then trust that everything is the way that it's supposed to be right now, and to have certainty that everything is unfolding the way that it should. So you still set your intentions to be guided, to be directed, use your intuition, and then you got to practice. So it's not enough to just know and understand ultimate reality. You got to practice the teachings, meditate, pray to the divine, contemplate the teachings, and then practice doing good to others, so karma yoga, and then bhakti, getting into devotion, right? Devotion to the truth, to the ultimate reality. So very, very powerful. So if you understand Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma from that point of view, it's basically teaching ultimate reality, the absolute truth, in various ways. And there's the scriptures and teachings that teach that, and the deities that represent that. And then the practical teachings of how do we ascend up the levels of consciousness, and that's practice, right? So practice, practice, practice is key. So I hope you guys are on it. Hope you're on the journey. So let me know if you are down in the comments. And thank you so much for joining. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.